telling you something, it is nice to have a partner, you know, that you selected 52 years ago, that if you do it over again, you still do it again. So a round of applause for my I have stranded her in some unusual places. We've been stuck, we've been lost in wilderness backpacking trips, but we managed to survive, and we've gotten out of some of these places. But she's been terrific support, and of course is a great believer, as I am, in the tremendous, you know, group of people that we got here, and the whole issue of celebration of leadership. Before I get started, I would like to have the distinct honor of introducing your chapter president, ODK president, who's going to open this up with a rousing comments, and then I'll be back. So, okay, distinguished, let's give a round of applause.
No. No, I did. Yeah. Well, it's good to see everybody. I really want to thank the faculty that are all here today. It really makes the event so much better to have some of the top Lake Forest faculty here. And then, of course, the biggest thanks goes to Mr. and Mrs. Crawford. And really what this is great is, the reason why this is so great is because, you know, we're so gifted with so many talents, especially leadership. That's why we're all here for different reasons. And we really couldn't be here if it wasn't for these older mentors that we've had in our lives. And really what these people are for us are these role models. Probably the most impressive fact of all the role models here is the fact that Bob and Wendy have been married 52 years, which is super cool. And you know, Bob has been so successful in his career, and then as soon as he reached the peak of his success, he's, you know, dedicated the rest of his career giving back to various communities. He's done so much work with charity, and then also helping our chapter, especially since we've just started in the last, you know, 4 years. So we really want to thank you guys for all of this. And you know, me personally, I have a huge list of people that I can thank, whether it's Coach Mike Dow, Jackie Slats, Aldo Guzman, Dr. Martin, if anyone knows him still. And I'm sure we all have our own personal list that's just endless. And so just take your time to enjoy this opportunity, get to know some of the older people, and really try to also get to know people within ODK. So also, if you haven't noticed, we have 13 new people that just were inducted yesterday. So
round of applause.
Yeah. So if you haven't met them, please, the older people, you know, reach out, introduce yourself, and try to get to know them all. So thank you guys.
Could I just ask one question? Could we see a round of the hands of the people who were just inducted? Yes.
Stand up.
Bravo. Interested Winnie and I over time has been, you know, when you think about what makes civilization work, what makes our society work, what is there that is there deeply intrinsic in us that makes it work? And that is this relationship, you know, it's inextricable relationship between people that make things happen, the leaders and the people that are following them. And at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with the other 98% of the people that aren't here tonight. We celebrate them, it's who they are, they're participants, they take our directions. But at the end of the day, the direction of civilization and of society is in the hands of the leaders. And Omicron Delta Kappa at Lake Forest has 2.5% of the student body in this organization. You are the people that are in the top quarter of your class academically. You've demonstrated leadership in your extracurricular activities and your work activities. And you are to be celebrated, because at the end of the day, you're going to progress into life and make things happen. And you're going to change this world to be better. So I want to celebrate you, and Winnie and I do, and a round of applause for all you great people. Congratulations, you're in the top 2%. You're going to change America and make it better. Round of applause. In 1959, I was initiated in Omicron Delta chapter at Dickinson College. It was the Delta chapter, the third oldest chapter. This was started 103 years ago at Washington Lee University, which is, of course, a Lake Forest type place, nestled into the, into the Appalachian, the northern part of Virginia. And in Washington and Lee, it was started. It had moved through various private schools on the East Coast. Dickinson College, where I went, was initiated shortly thereafter. And over 103 years, we now have 300 chapters. And the interesting thing is, it's the only organization in colleges and universities that celebrates the two crucial things: academic excellence and leadership. Phi Beta Kappa is fine. How many people are members of Phi Beta Kappa here? Thank you, congratulations. That's great, but it recognizes only academic significance. Nothing wrong with that, it's great. This recognizes the top quarter academically, plus those people that can make a difference and change things and take leadership. America needs leadership. We have tremendous challenges throughout our society. This is a great country, and to be able to learn this and have it developed and have it essentially honed and advanced here in a place like Lake Forest College is an extraordinary thing. And I want to congratulate this great administration, everybody here. I've known Jackie for years, and Rich, and congratulations to you and the dean, the provost, for all that you do to create this environment. Let's give a round of applause to these guys. We are sitting today in America with a need for leaders. So many people are timid. They're afraid to take a step. You move forward, you could be exposed, you could make an error. Well, you want to know something? You can learn from an error. You can hone yourself. Why, recently I was on a board, I took a very, what I would call creative stance. I got out in front, I got clobbered. I stepped back, but it's interesting, things are going on. I'm not going to sit back and not take a risk. I just refuse to do it. We need to advance. We need to make things happen. And so I applaud you for being leaders. Leaders are responsible for taking smart risks in order to try to make this a better place. America is an extraordinary place. There's not a better place in the world, but we need to get better. How do we get better? This is not the forum to try to figure that out. But it's going to be going on past my lifetime and my great wife's into yours. And with your leadership ability, I'm sitting here saying, I've got grandchildren. I got 7 of them with my great wife. We've together got 7. And they are looking for you people. You're ahead of them to try to make this a better place. The great thing about ODK, it's not about anything political. You can be ultra-liberal, you can be ultra-conservative, you can be liberal or rogue. This is about developing our leadership skills to advance what we believe will help make society better. It's an open-ended. We want to make it non-political. This is not the young Republicans, the young Democrats. This is about honing our leadership skills, and then as we move through life, we'll develop our own personal points of view regarding what is important and needed. I'm telling you, I mentioned it, Winnie and I were talking just briefly before we sat down. What an impressive group of And this is very exciting. It gives us great faith in the future of America. I think a little bit back, and I may have mentioned to one or two of you before, but when my oldest son graduated from college,
Our
we
oldest.
rode across our oldest. Winnie doesn't usually sit in these situations. Winnie, why don't you sit right here so I don't make that mistake again? When our oldest son graduated from college, we rode a bike across the country. We wrote a book about it. We did 130 miles in 26 days and went from Los Angeles to Virginia Beach, Virginia. It was a very interesting experience. It was exhausting. We ran into all kinds of things. We finally understood that if somebody's coming back at you with a gun rack on, get off the road. And that's no kidding. Because there was no interest in giving us a line. And a big, what you'd call a suburban kind of thing with a gun rack. But one of the things we thought about as we put together this book was, what is there that we can put in the front of this book that captures what the spirit of America is, the spirit of invention, the spirit of testing and trying things. And we reached back to the great Theodore Roosevelt, who, if I'm not mistaken, the American was the 31st president, somewhere in that range of his country. He served from 1900 to 1908. He said this: "The credit belongs to the person who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends themselves in a worthy cause, who at the best knows the triumph of high achievement, but who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold, timid souls who knew neither victory or defeat." Those words, when you think about them over the time, think about people who make things happen. They take risks. Leadership is risks. You've all taken risk. You step forward. You're a member of Overcome Delta Kappa. You're in the top 2 or 3% college students. The world is in front of you. The world is an exciting place. It's a place that is looking for people to take charge and to make things happen and to take risks. And if they fail, they can bounce back, but will never be timid. And if they see something that's wrong, we'll jump in. Even as recently as 9 months ago, the board, I had to take a defeat. Backed off, that's okay, we're going forward. But at the end of the day, those are the kinds of things that we have to learn and we have to understand is the hall of greatness. So at the end of the day, when we've talked with all of you people and we see all these tremendous, diversity of majors, we've got double majors and single minors, we have triple majors, single majors. I mean, it's amazing the diversity here. And I'm telling you, this is a tremendous place where you're going. You're learning, as I've said, we're products of small liberal arts colleges. We think that's the only place you can truly be educated in America, where you have the chance to be exposed to diversity. These are the places that create, a real educational experience. And congratulations, you all. And it's just great to be able to be here tonight to celebrate you people. 13 new inductees, congratulations. You're in the top 2%. The world is in front of you. The issue will be whether or not what you want to do with it. I looked at the 8 ODK graduates that I was a member of my senior class at Dickinson College. 4 of us have made something happen. 4 of us haven't. even if you're leaders now, doesn't mean that it'll be doing it. So where will you be, you know, in that? And that's what we all have to deal with. Your faculty can't tell you that, your teachers can't tell you that, your parents can't tell you that. It's in our souls. What do we want to be? What do we want to fight for? What do we think is important to advance the greatness of Western civilization? This is a terrific organization, and my kudos to all of you. Great admiration. Winnie and I had a wonderful time of meeting you all. We're inspired, we're invigorated. Congratulations. Applause to all you great people.